So, hi all. Good evening. Hope that I'm audible to all. Yes, but I can see a very less count in the session. See, the changes in new people is this only. First day when the session was told that SQL session will start, you can see the strength. It was around nearly 60, right? So now when the first day interest was something like, okay, let us understand, let us learn it off because it's a new technology. If a technology is not given, people will come and start asking that this technology is not there, this technology is not there. The moment the technology is given, first day that same interest will be there, second day the same interest, third day slightly goes down, and the fourth day, fifth day, I don't see those people only. Why? Because so many distractions are there. I'm not telling it for all. Few are like regular from the day one till date, and the few are there who have texted me up saying that I cannot attend the session. Rather, I would go up with the recording for next 2 days, something like that. Okay, if there is a proper reason and you have some emergency work, I can understand. But if you are just like this, okay, recording, however, it will be shared. We will watch one or the other day. Why to watch now, or why to be there in the live session? I'm telling you, the one who are there regularly in the session, they knows how much they have understood, and if a question is asked, at least maybe if they are facing the issue, it's a secondary, but at least they'll get to know what is the kind of question it is, how to sort it out. That level of idea already you people have got it. But the one who have not attended regularly and just for a sake, you are there and you don't listen to recording also. I'm telling you, I know that one or the other day when you listen to this recording, you would get to know that how important it was if you would have gone through the live session. So make sure if any of your friends are there who are not attending the live session, do inform them to attend the live session. Hardly another 5 days. So by then I would complete it. My job is done. The other end, what you have to do is that, see, it's something like this. Someone can come to you, take the plate, have the food on the plate, they can take the spoon, start feeding you. The one who have to swallow is you only. They cannot make you to swallow again. So the thing is that everything is in front of you. Whether to swallow it, whether to poop it, it's up to you. So make sure that the same interest you keep it up. It's not for only one technology, I'm telling it the same for all the technologies. As the days proceeds, even in testing, the count goes down. Even in the development, the count goes down, because they are like, oh, I have joined the course now, I'll get the job. No, if that is the case, everybody will join some or the other course and they'll get the job. But that is not the case scenario, right? You want the job, then you have to be thorough in all the technology. So make sure that on the daily basis you assign some work, some time for all the technology, and equally divide it and revise. For whichever technology you're not getting sufficient time, make sure on the weekends you spend time on that. So you have to organize your own technologies, because it's your life. In future it should not be a problem to you to like face the interview. So remember that daily basis the consistency should be same. Today 2 to 4 hours you study, tomorrow nothing you'll study, day after tomorrow for 1 hour, day after tomorrow nothing you'll study, like that 3 days gap you leave. It's of no use. You're studying for 15 minutes, okay, on daily basis keep it for 15 minutes, or daily basis increase 1 minute. That is called as consistency, and you can see the changes in that. So my duty is to tell whether you accept whatever I would tell or not. It's up to you. Just a minute, I'll just close the video. Close the window. The outside audible, I think voices are audible. Yes, so everything is clear now. I'll share the screen. Let us understand the important topic in all the SQL, that is database, about joins. So what is the meaning, general English meaning of join? I'm just asking the general meaning of join. Combining two different things, combining two or more pieces. Exactly. So when we say join, so there are something like, in the different places or different things or different objects, what we do when we combine all together, they are joined, right? So as our name says, joining is nothing but, here whatever we see, it is a table. So we have one table, we have two tables, you have four tables, you have five tables, like that many tables will be there. So one or the other day, I would encounter to deal with two or more tables, and it is my duty that I have to combine those tables and write a query. Correct. So that time, what to use? Joins concept we should be using. A joins plays a major role in your entire SQL, whether you go for the MySQL or the other SQL databases. It is same, the level of questions will be always the same. So make sure that properly you understand it. So whatever we understand in today's class, it is like, first diagrammatic, then we go with the tables, then we go with the queries, with followed by syntax. So first understand, then you will get to know how to tackle with a question. Okay, yeah. So let me just quickly move on with the joins. As I said, what is join? Join is nothing but combining the tables or combining the rows from one or more tables based on the certain conditions. Okay, so I'll tell joins. What is join? Or maybe I would mention it as join clause. Join is also one clause where we can merge up two or more tables. Okay, so if you ask me that what kind of question will be asked in the join clause, join is nothing but, as I mentioned, where you have to be combining the tables. How they frame up the question is, they give you some data, means table 1, table 2, table 3, or maybe assume with the two tables. Now they'll tell these are the base tables, that is table 1, table 2. Output of this is some table output they'll show, which will have all the columns including both the tables, and then based on that output you should generalize which type of joining is performed. This is one way of asking the joining question. As I mentioned, just understand, this is one table, many columns will be there. This is one table, many columns will be there, and there would be one more resultant column. By seeing this resultant column, you need to verify, you need to communicate what type of joining has been performed in order to get this kind of output. So this is one way of asking the joining question. The same way, have like till now how we have understood that we need to write a query based on the question. So there they'll mention, okay, for this is a query and please perform a particular type of joining. There are several types like inner joins, left join, right join, full join, natural join, self join, cross join. Like this we have a several types. I'll discuss one by one. So they'll mention in the question, so and so is a question, and you need to perform inner join. So when they say inner join, you have to write a query by performing the inner join, and the resultant output you should verify. Simply by telling inner join, you cannot perform the activity, because you should know what happens in inner join. So let us understand the types one by one. Okay, yeah. So basically, what are the types available in the that is SQL, Oracle SQL about the joins are, firstly, it is inner join. So when I say inner join, you can understand in the form of sets first. So I'll just tell, this is one set of table which we have. This is another set of table. I'll consider like this. Maybe this is a table A. This is table B. What does this table A have? Table A have ID. Please understand, I don't want any diversion in between. Name and salary. Like this, I would tell. The same way in the B, what I would tell, there are several column, something like ID. Then there would be a information of PF details and a department. Like this, I would consider. Now, if you notice, I have two tables here. One is table A and table B. Within that, don't you think there is a common column? Yes, that is ID, correct? So what I'll do, for our understanding, let us not maintain it here. I would tell, for both of this table, ID is the common column. For both of these tables, the common value or common column is ID. That means based inside this ID, whatever values I have, those based on that only I'll be getting the data. If you have the common value between the columns, ID 1, 2, 3 in A and in the B 1, 3. So only that matching values row will be the output. I'll show the output. You need not very first understand in this way. So in the sets, if we have to say this way, can I represent like this? A, so intersection, I'll use the cap symbol. A, it's not XOR. In place of intersection symbol, I'm using that XOR, cap symbol there. So if you remember in the sets, we used to perform this, right? Union, intersection. Remember? So in the question, they can ask you in this way, please perform the joining where I can retrieve common values only. So if they mention, please write a query for performing the joining here, and I have and in the output there should be only a common data from both the tables. So they didn't mention which type of join, they only told join. But when they say common values from both the table, I can fetch out using inner join only. So here what will happen? Table A value, table B value will be displayed based on the ID. For example, I will have the ID here as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Where in case of here in B table ID column only, I would tell 1 is there, 4 is there and 5 is there. Respectively, the name, if you ask me, I'll tell A, B, C, D and E are the names. Salary, I'll tell in short 10, 20, 30, 40. Different value. So just for an example, I'm considering PF is maybe I'll tell S, no. Department number or department maybe X, Y, Z. Like this, I'll consider. So what is this column? It is ID only. I'm not mentioning it here. So this is the values which I have. For example, please pay attention, everybody. Now, In this case of situation, now what is that I said? Only a common column values will be retrieved. If that is the case, if you notice, I have the one, and do I have the same one here? So what would be the output? First time I would get the value here, or the first row will be completely this, or I can say here the complete output, how I would be getting the resultant output is ID, name, and salary. Since I am joining, I will also get the ID again of B table, then PF, then department. So whenever you are performing joining, the common column will be twice because you are combining two. Can we remove the common column? Yes, we can remove the column of printing twice. We can print only once. How, we will see later. But as of now, this is how it would be printed, all the columns. But what is the output of this inner join? For this inner join, this is how it would be printed. One, this is the common column, and here also one is that a respective data, that is A, salary 10, and PF here as Y, X. We will consider the tables and we will write the query. This is only for understanding purpose. And do I have 2 in both the table? Do I have 2 in both the table? No, then that complete row will not be printed. Then do I have 3? No. Then what is the common column, the ID in that common value? That is 4. Then that particular row will be printed. Similar way, then I have the 5. Then that particular row will be printed like this. So same thing, if I have to represent, I would tell 4 and 5 will be printed. This is D. Then salary is 40. This is E, and the salary is 50. This is how it would be printed. When it comes to the ID of B column, as usual, 4, S, and department Y. 5, no, department Z. This is how the output will be printed for inner join. Now the question is, how is that we will write this syntax? Joining is one concept, okay. But if I have to perform this type of joining, how do I mention the query? That is important. Please pay attention. The general syntax first, let me write it. I'll tell the general syntax of joining is this way. Select. What is that I have to select? I want to select complete data. From which table? It is not from only one table. Now 2 table I have to consider. If you have employee table, if you have departments table, then I have to mention both. But how to mention? This is how I'll tell. From A table, and one alias name I'll give. I repeat, from A table and one alias name I'm giving for a table here. When you are using alias name in the from statement, in a further query, instead of telling, suppose this A table name is employees, I need not mention employees, rather I can just tell A. Maybe first I'll not consider the alias name. Without that, I'll show you, then I'll include it so that you can understand that. Okay, so employee 1 here, whatever I have it, right? So for this, from table A, what is that I have to join? I have to join that clause I have to mention, that is B table. Based on what? Based on, I have to use this. How I am writing the order? I can write everything in one line. If we write it like this, it is easy for us to understand where, if somewhere the mistake is there. So I'm writing it in this way. So on A table, what is a common column? What is a common column? it is ID, then I should mention that with a dot. So I can tell with ID, which is equals to B dot ID. This is how I have to be telling. So same thing, assume that this table name is employees and this particular table name is departments. So if that is the case, then how can I write it? I'll tell select star from employees, join departments. On what basis? On the basis of employees ID, which is equals to departments dot ID. This is how I should be telling it. Now, if this is the case, okay, somehow you will manage and you will start writing on based on that. But sometimes the table name will be very lengthy. I cannot, write each and everything. Sometimes the table name will have 3 to 4 lines. Okay. So what can I do that way? At that time, I can use alias. And without alias also, can I write? That is what I'm telling. These two formats which I have shown in the beginning are valid only. But instead of that, we can go with the alias name also. In the interview also, they'll be giving you the alias name. How can I write the alias name? You can give anything, whatever you want. You can tell E, you can tell T, you can tell A, whatever you want. So say suppose I'll tell E here, employees E and departments D. Should I have to put dot here? Nothing. Along with the name, one space, then give the name, whatever you want to give. So after that, while telling that I have to, based on certain condition, I need not call employees here. Rather, I can just use that alternative name which I have given. So I can tell it here as E dot ID equals to D dot ID. D dot ID. Like this, I can write it. So this makes our task easy. Ma'am, what is the difficulty? It is very easy. Employees departments, I can write it. Now, whatever query you're seeing, it is just joining simple syntax. But you have to be seeing like this many examples. So like you will be including operators, you will be including the many other clauses ordered by or many other functions. That time, every time to tell employees, then departments, it becomes difficult. So instead of that, we can use the alias name. What could be an alias name? Alias name can be anything. It is up to you. No, ma'am, I'm comfortable with the names only. Then please go with the names. This is one syntax. If sometimes in interview, if they are telling you the alternative names like this, so do remember, this is the way we can also write the query. Ma'am, can we write the alternative names of table in our previous queries? Yes, 100% you can use. In a operators query where you have written, there also you can use. In the functions, there also you can use. Now, it is the time where we have to use. There is a reason I have given here. Without that, we can write, yes, 100% we can write. So is that inner join is clear to all? We will have a separate table for this. We will not be going with the same employee table. We will have a different table. So we will deal with that. The basic understanding is clear. Yeah. So they may ask you join, or they may, the name inner join or just join. Because here I have written it as only join, right? If you observe, see, I've just written join, whether it is only join or whether it is inner join, the output is just the same. So I can say the alternative name of This particular type of joining is called as inner join, or it is also called as just join. Whenever you mention just join, the output will be like this. Just leave it over there. So when if I share this, I'll just write it here. I hope you can, while I give the notes, from that you can have the proper idea. Yeah, inner join, here also I'll mention. Whether you tell inner join or whether you tell join, it is just the same. Okay. So I hope this is clear here. Now, by having the same understanding, I hope you will be able to tell what is left to join, because we have, so basically the main questions will be asked on joins, and within that what are the subtopics is types of join. One join we have understood, that is join or inner join. The first type we got to know. Similar way, we also have one more join which is called as outer join. I would tell outer join. In this outer join, there are subtypes. Basically, those are, so there are subtypes. What are those? Yes, it is left join, left outer join, then it is also just called as left join. Whether you tell a left outer join or whether you tell left join, the meaning is just the same. They are under the outer join. The same way, we also have a right outer join. Right outer join, the alternative name for that is right join. Similar to that, we have one more which is called to be full outer join. The alternative name for that is just full join. Any name they can ask you. Okay, you should be able to tell. Outer join has three subtypes: left, right, full. Whether it is left outer join or left join, the meaning is just the same. Now let us understand the first subtype there. So what is the first subtype? It is left outer join or just left join. As the name indicates, the left table data will be given here. Suppose this is the table A and this is the table B. So accordingly, I'll mention table A and table B. So in the table A, there are certain data. Same way in the table B, there would be certain data. And now what kind of output I would be getting based on what value? The same common values only, but not the common values of both. Rather, whatever data I have in the left side, matching with that, I would be getting. Suppose I will tell like this. In the left-hand side, when the table A, whatever data I have, everything will be printed. Like ID, name, salary, all the data of table A will be printed, all the rows. Along with that, whatever is common with B, that value also will be printed. Then what about the non-common value in the table B? No, that would be neglected. So basically what you can tell or how you can represent here for this, I can tell it as whatever is common with A and B will be printed. Along with that, the common of only A, or I can say union of A values will be printed. If you're not understanding this sets format, it's completely fine because we will be writing the query for this. but how to write the syntax we need to understand. So for simple example, if I have to tell for this is how I would consider the same table values, how I have the table here, right? The same way I would tell in my query also. Just I'll tell here, I have the same common values. So I'll write it here so that it will be clear now. ID, name, and salary. Same way in the table V, I have ID, then PF, then what is it? Department. Department, like this. I have certain rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like this. And the name, maybe I'll tell AA, like this. And salary also. See, this format, if you understand with a lengthy table, you will get to know. It is easy to understand. So only I'm making it simple first. These are the columns which I have. Then PF, S, no, department, XX, YY, Z, XY. These are the departments. This is how I have the data. So first, what will happen here is maybe one uncommon value I'll consider, which is not there. And I'll tell like this. So how the output would look like for this, if you ask me, all the columns, whatever I have it in table A will be as it is printed like this. But when it comes to the column B, all the data will be printed this way. So it will check what is the common data for with respect to column. Okay, column 1, ID, oh, matching. 2, matching. 3, I don't have. Okay, 4, I don't have. 5, I don't have. 6, I have. 7, I have. 9, I don't have. Common to left hand side, that is table A, then that row will not be printed. In left out rows, what it will do, it will just have empty values like this completely. So this will be the complete resultant table, which would look this way for the output for this particular table. So moreover, what you can come to conclusion here, common data of table A, table B will be printed. Along with that, uncommon value of or the remaining data of A will be printed. Means whether it is common or uncommon, the complete left hand side will be printed. That is a table A value will be printed. What is common in A and B, that particular value only will be printed for B table. This is the conclusion. So if I have to write this, how to write the query for this? As simple, which we have understood, in a place of inner join, we have to be mentioning it as left join. So I would now consider here, I'll tell select, what is that? Star, all the information from which table? From A table, alternative name A, I'll tell. What type of join I should be performing? It is not inner join or just a join. It is left outer join, or you can just tell left join. Okay, which table I need to join here? I need to join B table, alias name as, sorry, B, I'll give it. Here, then on basis of on the basis of what value? That same value a dot id. One question should be there that, ma'am, after giving alias by mistake I forgot and I have used the table name, table actual name only. Is it possible? No problem. Whether you want to use alias name, you can use it. Whether you want to use just alias name, you can use it. There is no problem. But when we give the alias name, it is easy for us to take out that name and use in the further ways in our query. Okay, so I repeat quickly. What is left outer join? All the values of left table will be printed, and in the table B, after joining, what is that? It will be printed only the common values or common row or common column values. So if you observe, out of all this, 1 is common, so that row is printed. 2 is common, that row is printed. 3 is common, that row 3 is not there. Next, 6 is there, that row is printed. 7 is there, that row is printed. But I also have one more column, which is 9, which is not there in the table A. So that would not be printed in table B while joining, and rest of the lines will be having the empty values. This is how it looks. You are on mute. Unmute. You have anything to tell? All of you, can you just put a quick message in the chat box that have you got the idea about this? We will be solving the queries on this, but understanding that what kind of output we will be getting, you should know. Some people will forget this common value also will be printed. So remember that whether you tell outer or without outer, the common values will be printed always. Okay, yeah. If this is the case, now please think and answer for the same set of value, what could be an output for right outer join? For right outer join? I think now you have got an idea that in place of this, I would tell all the common values and uncommon values of B table will be printed along with the common values to A. Okay. Yes. So if I have to tell the output, I can tell this is the same table values. Let me consider. Please tell me what are the rows will be printed. If this is the table A, table B. Now, what would be an output here? Will I get the one row for the table A? Suppose I'll just tell here ID, name, salary. Will I get the one row, row 1? Can I say that all the values in table B will be as it is printed? Yes, because that is the right outer join. So first it will consider all such values. Then what are common values for a table A? That row will be printed. In other words, 1, 2, 6, 7 will only be printed. That is AA, BB, 6 is FF and HH. But in case of salary, accordingly, that respective salary will be printed. For F, it is 66, then 77. I don't have I, that is 9 in the ID of table A. So that particular row will not be printed here. Rather, in that case, just an empty statement will be printed like this. There is empty value, nothing will be there. It would be a complete table. This is how the output looks like. Then how can I write the query for this? The query which I have to write for this is simple, same set of query. Let me just copy from there. See if it is a board, it is very easy for us to write our queries. Erase there only, write it. But if it is a virtual board, this is the problem. Cut, paste, cut, paste. Yeah. So I can say left outer join, or right outer join, or just right join. This is how I have to be telling it. I'll just highlight what is a change here. For this is how the output look like. The rest of the thing are just the same, no changes. Okay. Got it? Now think and answer. For full join, full outer join. What are the values will be printed? Simple. So all the values of table A, table B, whether it is common, not common, everything as it is. Table A values, table B values will be printed completely. That is only outer join, with including with the full value, that is complete row column. That is, I can say that common values will be printed first, uncommon values for left and right as it is, it will be printing it out. That is only full outer join. So let me just scroll it down and I would have that circles here. So this document as it is, I'll share it. That is the paint screen. So in your notes where you are writing it, just have the diagrams so that when you are revising, if you see these diagrams, you should be able to tell. So I'll tell here, this is the thing, but full outer join or just full join, both are same. So how does it look? Completely, it will consider all the values, complete values. So in other words, it is nothing but A union B. I'll just tell the table here. This is how the table looks, and what is the resultant table? The table will have the same set of columns as I have it here. And what are the row values? Firstly, the common will be printed 6, 7. Here also 1, 2, 6, 7. And what are not common? Accordingly, 3, 4, 5 will be printed. For this particular row, 9 will be printed. The respective values, again, I'll not write it again and again. So don't think this is the output. Only this ID number will be printed. Name also will be there. Salary also will be there. I have to type it here, no? So I'm not typing. I hope that you can understand by the diagram. Yes or no? Or you want me to type that also here? Great. Good that you're not expecting me to write that particular. Now, if any case, if a two table is given to you, and if they are asking you to write a particular output, output also they'll show you. For example, just see, I'll go to my SQL. Now I'll tell select star from employees. This is my employees table. Time is over. Okay. Yeah, now it should become. Select star from employees. I'll select and run, and that particular columns till department ID I'll get it. We also have created the departments table, so I'll tell from departments. If I now execute, you can notice I would get the output for this. If in case I perform the joins here, so I have to be telling it as select star from employees E. Then what kind of join? I would tell, I would perform the inner join. Based on what? Inner join for which table? Departments table. You also first verify the table is there or not, then you check. Okay. Inner join departments on what? On the basis of a department ID. So for this departments also I'll give the name as D. So I would now tell E dot department ID. In employees also I have a department ID. Here that belongs to employees table. Now equals whatever is common in the department ID. So instead of that, I'll just tell D dot department ID. This is how I'll tell. Let me just execute this. So you can notice, let me increase this. Yeah. Can you see here department ID has been printed again and again? 2 times. One time for employees table, another one for the department table. And whatever I have it here, the 90, 4 times, 6, 3 times, for all such value, respective data have been printed. Here, whatever common value I have, for all that, because in both the table I have the common values. 90 means for all such values I am getting the output. 90 means for all such value I am getting the output. That is how. So only if I show this, you'll get confused. There is a reason I first showed you that particular way of writing it. Okay. Now maybe I'll also go with one more outer join, or maybe just to join I'll tell. So output twice, well, let us say once. No change, it is just the same. Whatever you got it previously, same thing you will get it. But remember, common column, whatever their condition you are saying, no, this common column will be twice. Means whatever the conditional check you are doing is equal to this, only that column you print, that row you print, then that will be repeated twice. This you should remember. Okay. Next, then after that, I would go with the outer, because they'll also ask you about this one. If in case only once they'll print the common column, and what is that type? That type also we need to understand. So only I'm telling, while executing, make sure that it is printed twice, means then all these are till now whatever we discussed based on that only. So left outer join, I have told. So left outer join will print all the values left hand side. In the right hand side, the common values, because since I have it for all 90, 90, 90, everything is printing here. The respective 90 for that executive only, manager ID is this, and this is the information, because I have the same data in my department ID. See here. So only I didn't show this first. I have based on this is a primary key, no? Based on this only that has been designed. So whatever I have it here, 190 I have, which is not there in employees, I guess. Let me check. Department ID 190. See here. I don't have 190 in department ID of employees. This is employee table. But in departments, I have 190. So when I try to do left outer join, all the common values have been printed. But 190 is printed. Is that all the 20 rows have been? Yeah. 190 is not printed. In table B, why it is not printing? Because we are not performing the right outer join. What we are performing is left outer join. So it is not printing. Got it? Yes or no? That means I have left out with a few more joints. One more I'll show it off, so that that tomorrow whatever I discuss for 2 more joints, that confusion will not be there. So those are no problem. This major types, if you understand, the 2 more whatever we will discuss are quite easy only. One more type we have, that is only cross join. As the name indicates, cross join. What is this cross join? See, the name only is saying that we have a table here, we have a table here, we have a certain information, maybe I'll consider here. Okay, so here one ID or a name, or maybe ID only you can consider anything. Here ID, name, all that. So 1, 2, 3. Here 2, 3, 5, 6, and so on. So what will happen if you perform this cross join is, here whatever ID I have, right? If in case if you tell cross join, it will go with this particular row, whether you have a common, you have no common, doesn't matter. It will check, combine with this row once, and it prints. Then again with the second row, it will print. Again with third row of second table, it will be printed. Again with the fourth row, it will be printed. After printing all this, next second ID, again it will also print with this first row, second row, and third row. Cartesian product, if you remember, same way only. Next, third row prints with all, like this. 4 rows will be printed separately for this. In other words, if you ask me how the output looks for 1, 2, 3, one set of this 2, sorry, how many right table values I have, like this 2 will be printed, that particular row will be printed. Then again 1, third, 3 IDs row will be printed. 1, 5 row will be printed. 1, next 6 row will be printed. Means how many value for which table you are doing a cross join. For all that row, one set of cross join will be done. Again, second row in the left table, it will be considered. Same set of activities for 4 times it will do. Like this. Again for 3, it will have the same set of values. Like this, it will perform. So totally how many rows will be printed? Here I have it as 3, 3, 3, 3. So the cross multiplication 3 into 4 is what? Total 12. That is how it prints those many rows. Okay, then how to write it when we have the cross join? As simple as that. The query we will write it tomorrow, not now, but understanding you should have. Whenever we say cross join, no conditions are required here. It is just cross join. The table B is what we have to be writing it. But when we write that, what is the output? This is the output. How many rows will be there in the table B? It will be matching with all, and it will be printing that particular rows for each row of table A. It just prints with all the row of table B. This is how it prints. Is that clear to all? The table what we have till yesterday, whatever we were using, no, if you use this table you will not understand, because it consists of a large number of data, 20 data there, other data, other table there, lot of confusions will occur. So I'll simplify and I'll make one short table. I will be sharing those details. Consider those two tables and try to perform the joins. Then you get a clarity. All this left hand side, right hand side, whatever terms I have just used, just perform same thing. Whatever I did it here, in your laptop, you perform the activity and check it out. For what table I would be sharing for that. And again, yesterday I didn't share the assignment because I also got few interview questions based on sub queries. So I'm just trying to add up those questions also in the assignment, just validating the question whether I can put that, because all the topics in that have been done, then only I can put. So only I was just checking those questions. Some interview questions I have got it from previous students. So I'm just trying to check those questions. I am adding it. So I have got almost the questions. So today I will share with table details of joins. So perform that. Along with that, I also have given the information about notes, that is clauses and the this one sub queries notes. Please go through that. Without fail, you have to read that. Okay. Somin is asking, need to use primary foreign key in the time of creation table if we want to join the table. Somin, table creation, the constraints are very much important. We have to use the primary and foreign key if there is a demand. If we are creating some IDs, mandatory, we have to go with the primary key. If you're asking for the example, which I would give it now, every query I will only give. You need not worry. You have to just copy paste it, because I want that table to be created. So, but if you ask me, should I have to all the time create the primary key, foreign key? You are a data engineer. You have to think, oh, this is the ID. Should I have to use a primary key for this? Think, because if ID are there, then primary key you have to make it, because if you don't make it, then somebody who is giving the data can create ID one twice, one thrice, means 3 or more employee will be having employee ID, same employee ID. That gives the inconsistent, the data is not proper. Then this I'm telling in the perspective of interview. Okay, for simple creation and for your understanding, if you're creating the table, okay. But whenever you are creating a table, the basic rules, that constraints, we have to think and give for the table. Okay. And then this is there only, we will not stop, because we have still few more rules to create the table. So we will understand slowly, but today your job is that to execute the questions, assignment questions, which I shared today. Along with that, the joining question, just try to execute with the tables which I shared. Okay. No, ma'am, I want to execute for this table only. Please execute. Somewhere if you are confused, You will get confused. If you're not get confused, then it's completely fine. If you get confused, try to analyze it. Output wise, there should be no doubts. Okay. Okay, you can do one thing. You can execute all the joins examples which I have explained today. First, with these two tables, you also have job grade table. So see what are the common column and try to check it out. Then whatever table I will share, that table you can consider to execute. Is that clear? The basic syntax and writing the joins, the types, with the types, cross join I'll explain tomorrow. Till the full outer join, I hope it is clear to all. Anybody asks you to explain the inner join, will you be able to explain with the simple examples? That is important. Okay, so fine then. I would hold my discussion till here. The further discussion will make it tomorrow. See, 4 more classes. Living today, we have 4 more sessions. I just want everybody to be attentive. The one who is listening to this records, I want at least on the last day to be present. The one, this is for the last, the students who will be listening to the recordings. For them, last day without fail, everybody should be there. The same count which I have got it on the first day. Do inform your friends also. Why all that I'll be discussing on the last day only. Okay, so until that, have a great night. Do explore few things, try to analyze the things, and whatever doubts will be, analyzing, will be addressing that. Till then, yes, have a great night. Let's meet tomorrow. Thank you.